Hi there. Today in this session I will discuss about loops in Python. In Python, loops are used to execute a block of code multiple times depending on the condition. They are crucial for writing efficient, readable and maintainable code by reducing redundancy and automating the repetitive task. Python provides two types of loops. For loop that iterate over a sequence like list, tuple, string or range, and the while loop repeats the code as long as the condition is true. Stay tuned to learn how to use these loops in real world scenarios. Until next time, stay tuned. See you in the next video. Hi there. Today in this session I will discuss about for loop in action. When we talk about for loop in Python, it basically iterates over a sequence of items like a list, tuple, string or range among others. If I talk about iterating over a list, let's say I have a list, I'll have a projects and I can just write any projects here. I have e-commerce project. I have blog projects, portfolio and social media. Now using a for loop in project to iterate this, I will create a for. Projects is a collection and then that needs to be assigned to the project local variable until the project has items in this list. One by one it will give to the project and this project gets printed. Let me help you out. The output of this would be e-commerce, portfolio and social media. I can use a shortcut. It says the code is already running. I need to stop the running execution of the code and then it prints in this list. You can also iterate over a range or over a string. Let's say I have a string Python and I want to iterate each character by their indexing. So it will first take P letter from the string, then Y, then T, then H, then O and then N. Let me help you out with this running. This prints this way. If you want to iterate over a range, we already discussed how do we decide a range. We actually had a fixed number till 5 or 1 to 5, 10 to 5, whatever you write, it prints all the elements within that particular range. You can see that it prints 0 to 4. If you want to decide that this range varies from 1 to 6, you can also write this and execute. It will print from 1 to 5 because the indexing goes 1 minus. We can also use enumerate to access index and the value. Let's say if I do using enumerate to access index and value. Let's say I have items apple, banana and cherry. I'm using loop with enumerator. This is how we use. We declare two variables index and item in enumerate method. Items will return two outputs to it. One is the index of that and one is the value of that. So this is how do we write the enumerator. So when I just run this, it tells you that apple is at index 1, banana is at index 0, banana is at index 1 and the cherry is at index 2. We can also use nested for loop. Where we say I have range for the first for loop and the range for the next for loop. So you want to print a multiplication table kind of, you can definitely go and run this and check. It is ith 0 is to 0, 0 is to 1, 1 is to 0, 1 is to 1, 2 is to 0, and so many iterations. You can also do the list comprehensions with this iterations. Let's say I talk about the list comprehensions. You want to create a list of any square of a number from 1 to 6 or 1 to 5, whatever. So you can see that ith raised to the power 2 for I in the range 1 to 6, and then print. So it print all the squares out of there. Alt Shift 9. 2 is to 2 4, 3 is to 3 9, 4 is to 4 6, 5 is to 5 is 25. You can iterate over a dictionary also using the for loop. Iterate over a dictionary, where I say that, let's say I have grades of user with their subject. So using for loop to iterate over a dictionary, I use grades.item. Grades is the variable. Items is the method for this dictionary. Will give the subject and the grade, just like an enumerator. We'll have to out values from this particular for loop. So the moment I print the output, it prints math goes to 90, science 85, English 88. This is how it looks like. So this is how do we use for loop in Python. Basic iteration, range iteration, enumerate, nested loops, list comprehensions, and dictionary iterations go hand in hand. These all demonstrations give a real-time use cases for loop in Python. We're gonna use this in our real-world scenarios so that our base gets strong with their all syntaxes. Until next time, stay tuned. See you in the next video. Hi there. Today in this session, I will discuss about while loop that repeatedly executes a block of code as long as a given condition remains true. Let's see this in action. When we talk about while loop that works on the basis of condition, as long as the test condition is true, the loop gets executed. Let's talk about an example where we say that print a number from 1 to 5 using a while loop. So I will declare a number. First of all, initialization take place. While number is less than or equals to 5, print the number. Before ending up the loop, just do the number plus equals to 1 every time. Number plus equals to 1 means number equals to number plus 1. So this is the body of the loop, gets repeated until the condition is true. I repeat myself. Number is 1. 1 is less than or equals to 5. Print the number. Increase the number. Check the condition once again. Now the number is 2. 2 is less than or equals to 5. Print the 2, and until this condition keep moving on. Just print 1 to 5. That's a just basic print number from 1 to 5. Let's do a guessing game with the help of while loop. Guess the number game. What I do is I declare a number to guess. I'll just randomly generate the number. There is a random int 1 to 10. In between of 1 to 10, the number gets generated. By default, the guess is none. None means we do not have anything inside this variable as of now. Now I'll use a while loop. While guess not equals to the number, I'll just write it line by line. Number to guess. If this condition gets true, then I will take a number from the user from 1 to 10. Okay. If guess less than the number to guess, it's too low. If guess is guess is greater than the number to guess, it's too high. Otherwise, there is something to print, you guessed it right, or congratulations, you guessed the number. Now let's do this. I'll run this across. I'm taking input, so I will use the terminal py while loop. It says that random is not defined. Did you import the random? No, I didn't import the random. I need to import random. The moment I will save this, the import might shift it to the top, but it's not happening. It's good. I'll just run this once again. So you can see that. Guess the number. 2. It's too low. Why did I check that? Because guess is none. And what I'm checking it there, if guess is less than number to guess. Number to guess is random out of random to random. I just check 4, it's too high. 6, it is too high. 9, it is too high. 1, it is too low. 10, it is too high. It's not yet checking it up. Yes. So random number generated was 3 and it matches with the number I guessed it. So this is how the while loop works. So while loop most of the time works with and based upon the user input. Until the user wants, this iteration keeps on going. We can also ask for the user input, type exit to exit from the while loop with the help of the break and continue statement. We will discuss further about the same. Until next time, stay tuned. See you in the next video. Hi there. Today in this session, I will discuss about the jump statements. Jump statement is used to transfer the program control from one point to another point in a program. They are essential for controlling the flow of execution and managing the logic within loops and functions in Python. We have break, continue, and return as jump statements in Python. In other programming languages, you could also see pass, but we don't have pass in Python. Break statement exits the nearest enclosing loop. Continue skips to the next iteration of the nearest enclosing loop. And then return exits a function or loop and optionally returns a value. I know you are super excited to try this with real world scenarios. Let's get to this in an action. Stay tuned. See you in the next video. Hi there. So the break statement in Python is used to exit a loop prematurely regardless of the conditions loop. Let's talk about this in action. Here I'm going to validating user input, where I say while true age needs to be input from the user. If age is greater than 0, print thank you, your age is whatever. If the condition is not true, then break. So this exit the loop when a valid age is entered. Otherwise, else print a statement invalid age, please enter a valid age. Until the age is not correctly entered, or if it is not as per the condition that you write, it keeps asking for the age. Let me help you out with the execution. I just print this py break statement. Enter age, I enter -1. I enter -4. I entered 0. It's not valid. I enter 12. It's valid. Thank you. Your age is 2. So while loop continues indefinitely until a valid age is provided. Condition: if the age is greater than 0, the loop exits using break. Invalid input handling: if the input is not valid, the user is prompted to try again. So you can use it for the validation or the search conditions in the real world examples, that how break can help manage loop executions more effectively. Until next time, stay tuned. See you in the next video. Hi there. The continue statement in Python is used to skip the rest of the code inside the current loop iteration and proceed with the next iteration of the loop. Let's see this in action. Considering I have list of rows equals to, in each row I have name, then I have age, and then I have city. Then in the next row, I have some names like John, 25, New York, Jane, Alice, and Bob details. I'm using for loop to process the rows. Using for loop to process the rows. So I will use for row in rows as we do. Then we check, skip the header rows. If row equals to name, that row, any row starts with the name, then skip that. Just print the data. Have a look. Py continue statement. Only the values are getting printed. So what it will do, will start the loop. If the condition satisfies, it will not stop or break the loop. It will continue, it will just skip printing this, will continue to the condition to check that what is the next row. You can use continue to filter the data, validating the data and data processing. Also, when you talk about using the continue, you can iterate a kind of validating the entries in a list kind of things. For example, I have emails. Another example, I have emails. I create a list of emails. I just write anything, abc@example.com. Similarly, I have more emails, xyz@example.com. And moreover, I have, let's say, QWERTY@example.com. So when I have this email, I just need to write down like this. So this will generate the emails for you. That's okay if we don't have. I will just go with the for loop. For email in emails, any email that starts with X that do not needs to be printed. Just have a look. So it also helps in searching criteria. It only prints ABC in the query. So continue is basically for the data validation, filtering, data analysis and reporting that can simplify the loop logic and improve the code clarity by allowing you to bypass the certain condition and focus on what matters. Until next time, stay tuned. See you in the next video. The return statement in Python is used to exit a function and optionally return a value to the caller. It is a crucial part of the design and helps in providing results or value after executing. As I discussed, it will be used with function, but the return statement can be used in combination with loops to exit a function early based on a certain condition. Let's talk about this in action. So the return statement with loop, let's get started. Here I use a return statement with loop where I say function to find the first even number in a list. So I define a function, although I have not discussed the function, it's just a def, it's a body. Find even is the name of the body, where I'll pass the numbers, execute the for loop, where the number is divided by 2 and the remainder is 0, return those number, otherwise return none. And once the function is created, I will get a list of numbers. Let's say I'm printing 1 to 8 in a random number, and then I will simply call your function, that is find even, and pass the number. So you can see that out of this entire list, if the number divided by 2 and the remainder is 0 is the only one. So the moment I run this, it prints the output. I just need to save this. Alt, let me go to the terminal and say py return statement. So it's not printing anything because we are just returning it. We need to print the output. So what I can do is I can just use this find even number to be executed inside a print statement. Because if the function is returning something, we should print that output, and that is 2. So in the entire list, we have only one number, that is 2, that is divisible by 2, and the remainder gives you 0. So this is how the return statement is used to exit the function as soon as the condition is met. And if the condition is not met in any iteration, none is returned after the loop. So the return statement combined with a loop can efficiently provide a result based on a specific condition. Again, once we'll use the functions, this is the most important statement that gonna use in iteration. Until next time, stay tuned. See you in the next video.